Hi guys, welcome back to From PSD to HTML5. My name is Dan Wellman, and in this lesson we're going to look at some of the other types of slice that we can use within Photoshop. When we created the slices from guides, it was quite useful for dividing the PSD up for table-based output. Useful when creating emails, but the HTML that's output isn't really of a high enough quality for anything else. So we can also create slices using the slice tool. So if we go back to Photoshop now, we'll reopen the homepage PSD. And if we just switch back to the slice tool, let's just get rid of those guides again, clear those guides, zoom in slightly. And if we want to manually create a slice, then with the slice tool, we can just, very similarly to using the marquee tool, we can just slice around the logo. The snapping is already set for that, but we can adjust the slice if we need to. Slices automatically get these resize handles, so we don't have to go into any menus or anything. We'll just, when we're slicing, we'll automatically get that. So we've added a slice manually there. So in the same way as we have done before, we can go through and just manually kind of slice out the things that we're interested in here. So if we wanted to, if we hadn't already cut all these images out, then we could just slice them out like this, and it's really no more time consuming than going through and adding a bunch of guides, which we are gonna create slices from. So we can just manually use the slice tool here just to select all of the things that we want to slice out. And the good thing about doing this is that when we've created all of the slices that we want, we can go back to Save for Web. We keep PNG selected, obviously. And in the preview mode, actually here, it looks like there's a bunch of other slices which we didn't add. So these are auto slices that Photoshop creates for us. And you can tell they're auto slices because the icons are gray. The slices that we've created ourselves manually are blue, and they're known as user slices. So it's easy to see the difference between these slices. And what Photoshop's actually done is everywhere that we've added a user slice, Photoshop has automatically added slices as well. So the whole page has pretty much been divided up for us again, just into two different types of slice. And we can actually take advantage of that just to slice out the things that we're interested in. So we've done the HTML email. We're not interested in all the rest of these slices around our user slices. So when we go into save, we want to change the slices to just user slices. And we can go back to images only. We don't need to worry about the settings really too much there. And if we select our IMGs folder, then hit save. And when we go to that folder, we'll see that Photoshop's put them all into an images folder again for us. It does tend to do that. There's an option for that actually. There's a setting, so we can change the name of the folder that Photoshop creates for us, but that's fine. And as you can see, it's just sliced out all of our user slices, so just the images that we were actually interested in and not all of the surrounding slices as well. So that's another quick way of slicing out multiple images, kind of a combination between using the precision of the marquee tool with the speed of the slices from guides technique. So this kind of combines those two techniques and gives us maybe the ultimate way to slice out images from Photoshop. And there's one more type of slice as well, actually. If we go back to our PSD, our slices are all fine here, but what happens if the design changes and maybe this logo gets a nice drop shadow or something? So suddenly our slice isn't big enough anymore. So we have to kind of select the slice again, and manually make sure that it's big enough. And it doesn't actually snap to the effect. It snaps to the layer for us, but it won't snap to the effect. So it can be a bit tricky to kind of, to make sure that's tight enough. There's actually a better way to do that. So let's just clear all of these existing slices, get rid of all of those. And this time we'll create what's called a layer-based slice. So let's just turn that effect off. What we're going to do now, like I say, is create a layer-based slice. If we go into the layer menu and then select new layer-based slice, that will add a layer slice around it, and you can see the icons a little bit different. If you just kind of glance at it, or you can't remember what the icons for the user slices look like, let's just create one. So I don't know, we'll add it around this text maybe. It's because we've got the slice select tool. Okay, so yeah, okay, we'll just, yeah, okay. So yeah, the icon is kind of different. Other than that, there's no real way of knowing which slice is which. If we just deselect this one, can we do that? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, they look very, very similar, but the great thing about layer-based slices, let's get back to what I actually want to tell you. When this layer changes now, because this is a layer-based slice, whenever the layer that the slice is on changes, so let's just add that drop shadow back in. Let's make it quite big. You know, Photoshop has automatically increased the size of the slice so that it exactly encompasses, you know, the new parts of the layer. So when we think that something is going to change, then we can use a layer-based slice instead, and it might just make our lives a bit easier in the future. One of the things you should know about layer-based slices, though, is that you can't resize the dimensions manually. Photoshop does a pretty good job of keeping the layer in sync with the slice, so we shouldn't need to make any changes to it anyway. But if we did want to change the dimensions for some reason, then what we would need to do is just promote that to a regular user slice. And now obviously they've got the same icons now, these two slices, and this one gets the resize handles, so we can manually adjust that now. I don't think there's any way to actually get that back to a layer-based slice, so what we would have to do is maybe clear that slice, delete it, and make a new layer-based slice if we wanted to go back to a layer-based slice. So one thing that Photoshop does actually, when we manually create a slice, Photoshop will still add a whole range of other slices around the slice that we've added. And if we just hit this show auto slices button, then we can see all of the automatic slices, which are denoted by these gray icons here. Photoshop's automatically added those around. So if we're making a lot of slices, then we'll end up with quite a cluttered PSD. And we can just use this button to hide the automatic ones, and that just shows us the slices that we've created ourselves manually, which is probably what we're interested in anyway. So in this lesson, we looked at a couple of other types of slices, user slices and layer slices. So we saw that we can manually create slices using the slice tool, and we saw how we can create layer slices as well. In the next lesson, we'll actually start to build the template for the homepage. Thanks for watching.